asked to be there. No, everyone is there because we ask. No, I don't want anyone. Please just don't. Because then you have to hear something like, no, we hate that. I hate it. So yeah, I don't know about no talent show. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do talent show,
it's not completely planned out, but I thought each contestant would be doing, I don't know, like a striptease.
Oh, you mean for Miss Satanic? You mean for Miss?
Yeah, for the Satanic.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Oh, okay, that's different. Well, you said a talent show. It's not. It's not. It's for Miss. Say the name of it. Miss
Satanic Witch Glamour Pageant.
There you go. That is what we're doing. It's not a talent show though, because everyone there is going to have talent. They have to jump through hoops, though, maybe. I guess, but yeah, you
but
just scared the shit.
Yeah. Something that they are, something that makes them a satanic witch.
I get it now. Lucy's like that talent show. I'm like, holy fuck, no. I'm thinking open mics.
Dave, calm down.
No, I'm starting to think open mics. People are going to come in and do some bad comedy. I'm like, oh no. You ever been to an open mic? You don't want to go. You'll hang yourself. I didn't want to.
Don't worry, me and Lucy have this under control. You don't worry, Shane.
Yeah, thank you. Miss Satanic Witch is going to be great.
Did you see him? He was freaking out right now. I was like, oh my god.
Right. I was like, oh my God, fuck that. Yeah, well, I don't want, that's why someone's like, how do I submit? Someone's like, I know a band. I'm like, stop right there. Don't want it to hear it. We'll find them. We'll find them. They don't need to find us. And that's all I mean by that. But Miss Satanic Witch is, like you said, I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy that.
They have to showcase their witchiness.
Yeah.
That way we know who's the best Miss Satanic Witch.
Could someone give me some hair advice out there? I need some hair advice. I'm getting like Sharon now. The light's on too bright. Let me turn off the light.
Or just do like Anton LaVey, just shave it off for while Purga's not.
Oh, that's way better. That lighting. That's way better. No, I'm not going to shave. Maybe. I don't know.
Can I go put on better light, or is that going to move? Am I good in the dark?
You're good in the dark. It's great. I wouldn't sweat it.
Okay.
You look satanic.
Who's fucking talking down here? Listen to this, what they're saying. You have to juggle chainsaws or you are... Yeah, you have to juggle chainsaws or you are immediately disqualified. Real chainsaws, that's right.
That's a good one.
I bet the pony stuff...
It will be a blood fest.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to worry about it now. I've been told I'm out of the picture with that, so I'm not going to. Yeah, Claudia, you can't hop on. I just can't fit more than 3 people on. That's the problem. I don't know how to do that real quick. But Claudia wants to hop on. Claudia's a really good...
I can go get the raffle ready and let her come on.
Okay, you want to come back then in like 10... How long is that going to take?
Not long. I just have to print out names and cut them up, and I'll come back.
What's not long mean? Like 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15. Just when you're done, when you're ready, when you're done with Claudia, or when
15 minutes. Back. I'll see you in 15 minutes.
All right.
Peace. You staying there, Lucy?
Yep. I'm here.
All right, let me do this, Claudia. Look at this. I'm doing it. Boom. There you are, Claudia. Where are you? You're on, Claudia.
I'm here.
I wish we could see you.
Yeah, well, I still have those things that need to keep private.
I see. So how are you, Claudia? Help me with this book.
I did, didn't I?
That's right. Without Claudia, I wouldn't have gotten this book as cool as it is.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Sharon. Nice to meet you.
No, this is Lucy you're talking to.
Oh, I thought that was Sharon. I can't see anyone.
Sharon, so. Yeah, you were in the green room. Sharon left to go do the raffle tickets, and Lucy did the interview. Did you see the Lucy Vaughn talk I had?
Yes, I did. I believe I was the first view on it.
Yeah, this is Lucy.
Well, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Claudia helped me with this book, and she got a hold of me. Like they got a hold of me when they were 15, asked me a question, but I don't know their age. And then they interviewed me at 16, and I'm going to do the interview because they got great questions, and then all these people give me grief, like, you're going to talk to a 16-year-old? How disgusting! And I was like, well, I don't think so, because I'm not saying anything like, I'm not doing anything illegal. I answered a question about Satanism or books. I don't have a problem talking to anyone about. And Claudia can hold their own with an 80-year-old as far as intelligence. So there's where Claudia fits in. She's a satanic scholar already.
Well, I'm glad I'm an 80-year-old now.
Yeah, yeah. So you got anything to say about this event, or you got anything to say to Lucy?
I look forward to seeing what you do for the Sabbath.
And next year, when Claudia's 18, they plan to come out to the Witches' Sabbath.
Oh, awesome. So how was it working on the book with Shane, Claudia?
What did you say?
How was it working on the book with Shane? That sounds like a fun venture.
It was definitely a venture.
So it wasn't fun?
Oh, it was certainly fun.
Okay. There we go. It was an adventure and it was fun. That's it. That's what we know.
As Shane would say, it was an historical event.
That's right. Lucy's
Shane,
giving me.
I remember last year when we did the ritual, you were like going around, you were like, this historical event, I was like, we just do this all the time.
Well, I'm there.
Rituals all the time.
But I'm there. If I'm there, it's a historic event. That's true. So it's it's fortunate or unfortunate for you. You might not want to be pulled into this history.
Yeah.
But I'll pull you in.
Well, I guess the Infernal Church Special is now a historic event.
Well, you know that. You know it is. I can't help it. I made history, so it's like anything I do is a historic event. So I get to say that. Why wouldn't I?
I love it. It's awesome.
That's what gets. You can hate me all you want, but that's the truth.
They love you or hate you either way. They're talking about you.
That's right. That's right. And I'm happy with that. Claudia runs the Infernal Church. Have you ever been on Discord, Lucy?
Yeah.
Claudia helps to run something called the Infernal Church. And it's a bunch of younger people that are studying the dark arts. And it's a really.
I want to check this out.
Yeah, you do. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It sounds like some satanic youth. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Lucy Vaughn's a future cult leader. Well, she's probably a cult leader now. She's just not letting anyone know.
I didn't I guess I fit the role of it because that's what people title me as a cult leader.
I didn't know that. See, I'm calling you a cult leader, and I didn't even know that. How about you, Claudia? You going to be a future cult leader?
I don't know. I don't think there are any really worthwhile cults anymore.
You got to start your own. The Infernal Church might be a cult soon. You never know.
It's already my playground.
Oh, that's great.
So tell me a little bit more about that. What do you guys do?
Oh, it's basically an education server for Satanism and any occult subject.
That's so cool. That's awesome. So what's the last lesson you taught on?
Oh, it's not like any specific thing that gets taught on. It's just a continuous conversation about any sort of topic about that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to come check it out.
Yeah, send the link of it in the YouTube chat.
Awesome. That's cool. It's very cool. So do you have any good stories to tell us from when you were putting together the book with Shane?
Oh, there was this once where he missed a meeting. And then we were like, oh yeah, we bet he's taking a nap. He got on the next week and we were like, so where were you? Were you taking a nap? And he was.
What happened?
Well, he was taking a nap.
This is what the kids do with old men. There's basically it's an ageist joke. They're ageists. Okay. God damn it!
Yeah.
Looks like I got a mullet. It's ponytail time for me. That's what it is. I'm at the age of ponytails.
You could do the man bun thing.
Oof, oof. No,
You could do the man bun.
no.
Might just have to pull the man bun off.
I hate.
Satanic corns. Do some horns.
Doing this stuff is always a nightmare for me because I'm looking at myself, and then I just got to keep. I just think about myself, no one else. I'm like, what about me? What about me? What about me?
That's
So, well, I got it. It's the story. The story. Well, I don't know. I don't know. The stories I have about doing that book are so personal, or it was very cathartic, let's say. So it was very hard to do at times because it's a very that was there's a lot there, a lot to unpack, let's say, as they would say in therapy. So it's like I was happy to have these younger folks with their energy pushing me forward because there was a lot of times I wanted to keep napping, like a depression nap. That means 72 days laying in bed. And they wouldn't really let me do that. They were like, we're excited. Let's do this here. Let's do this. Here's some stuff. And they kept pushing it. So that energy is almost like it was a kind vampirism. I took that energy and ran with it. That's all I'm
so
saying.
you bled for the book.
Well, they bled their energy for me. They gave me their youthful energy, and it pushed me forward. You know.
And it came out beautifully. Just the pictures in there alone are like
Oh,
priceless.
this is a great book. And Stan LaVey did the forward to this book. You know, so I love this book. There's no one else
Can
that's
you
got.
read us?
I could read you a lot,
Can
but
you
there's
read
no.
us the? Can you read us the opening from Stan?
No, I'm not going to read that. Too much for me.
No,
Too emotional.
my book.
Well, it's online for free. You can find my Substack, and it's on there. But it's just too emotional. That's you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
There's emotions there. I became really friendly with Stan at the end, so it's like it's a bummer.
You know what I was looking at the other day that I really liked was that video you got to do with him, the last video.
Yeah. So in this book, in this book, like I got the last interview, the complete interview, the last interview with Stanton, and right now I got the last interview with Carla, and Carla said she's not doing any more interviews. She did a 5-6 hour interview with me, and all that's in that book. So it's bigger than when it says the founding of the Satanic Temple. Like that's a small part of it. It's really fucking historic. It is. Come on. Who else got the last? Who else could say they got the last interview? You know, all these kind of things. No one. I got that. But I did a lot of work to get that. You know, I did a lot of work to go get those things. Getting LaVey interviews are not easy. You know.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, and the bragging point there is, you know, maybe you hear a lot of bragging point, but I did a lot of hard work, and that's what I'm proud of. You know, that to get those things, it didn't just fall into my lap. I did a lot of work to be invited into Anton LaVey's home, and I did a lot of work to ingratiate myself with any of the LaVeys to get them to talk to me, or anyone in the, you know, did a lot of work to start the Satanic Temple. So, you know, I want that. I want my money. I want my roses. What do the kids say? I want my flowers. And so, and if people aren't going to give them to me because they don't like me because I do what I do, I'll give them to myself. And that's what that book is.
That's your goal.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Claudia, I see you muted your mic. What?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that I made sure that the eugenics chapter was in that book.
Yes, you did. You made sure of another chapter too, the one where we call the Secret Service, right?
I believe that was me, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. This is good. So the person I had working on the edit, okay, I thought it was hilarious because it was like, first of all, English was their second language. So I'm like, hey, you want to do the editing? You know, because I'm a weirdo like that. But then they had a political agenda I didn't really sniff out right away until, and I started to when I was already in the process of publishing the book. And then when I get the book back, it's riddled with really poor, really the first edition was like an art edition or mock copy. And it's riddled with the typos, really bad typos. But then when I read through it, I'm like, there's chunks of sentences missing. There's paragraphs that take the context of the conversation and move it somewhere else. And I'm like, what a fucking asshole. Like, for me, I follow the vibe of a book. I'm not going to try to recontextualize it because I want to paint it in a different way. That's like what modern journalists do, or journalists, some journalism, some news stations would do. So I just want the book to lay flat in some sort of truth, or stand tall in a truth, I should say. And Claudia has an integrity like that as well. They're like, let's put this in there, let's put this in there. And I would ask why, and they had a good reason for it. Or, I don't know, I just feel it should be in there. And which is a good answer too. I don't know is probably the better answer. And so, yeah, the stuff that Claudia wanted in there, the person I was working with didn't want it in there. And the person I was working with was like, why are you working with these kids? I'm like, because they're the checks and balances of all this. And I could see it right there when Claudia's like, this should be in there. And the person that was editing is like, no, it shouldn't. I'm like, it's in there. There's something. But that's heavy stuff, because if you read those, Claudia's a troublemaker. The stuff that Claudia wanted in there is heavy stuff, really dark. Talk about eugenics. It's heavy stuff, and it's shocking stuff. So shocking. So the book was on sale on Amazon, the hardcover, and all of a sudden, like, I think Elon Musk retweeted something I said, and so I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sell 1,000 fucking books. This is payday. And I look, and the Amazon book has it. It says no longer available, and I'm like, what in the fuck? So I tag Amazon right away. I write in the comments like, the fuck is going on? And I tag the Amazon people in Twitter, and they write publicly right away. We'll check on it, and they said they put it back on sale right away. But then they said someone had wrote them and said it was a bootleg book or something like that. It was there. I didn't own the copyrights to it, which I do. And so it was taken down for a day or two. And then check this out. So I just want to get the ebook out because it's only $6, $6.66. It's not, this is $36. And so the ebook is, I think, easier to distribute, easier for people to read. Mm-hmm. And so I get that in distribution, and it was rejected. And I'm like, how could this be rejected? I talked to the publisher, and they're like, oh, we go through a third party. I'm like, yeah. And they said it's obscene. The content is obscene content. I go, how could that be? It's only words. There's no photos in there. There's no pornography. There's, obscenity is usually deals with pornography, stuff like that. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And they're like, well, we don't have any control of it. And I go, well, you better have some control over it, because I'm going to publicize this and you're going to look bad, because you're basically, and I believe it was an AI thing. Or someone that's I wrote them. I said it's either AI or someone being discriminatory, and either way, I'm gonna publicize this, and it's just gonna help me sell more books, and it's gonna put you out of business, And they reverse course right away when you fight back like that, and of course now it's the ebook is now in global distribution. It should start hitting Amazon and stuff in the next week or two, But that I get that harassment all the time with this stuff. It's not been easy to put any of this stuff out. But that's like the breaks, when you do stuff as, most people who are publishers or producers of podcasts, they come from wealth. And so they're able to produce things on a level that most scrubs can, or working class people can't. So our stuff is always going to look like almost amateur. And without resources to fight back, stuff like that, it's easy for people to harass you in a way that people with money don't get harassed. And I get a lot of grief from the Satanic Temple people. Because I beat the shit out of them. And I went. I think that's in the book too. I worked with the Arkansas right-wing Christian conservatives to fuck them over in court. But that's what I'll do. I'll work with anyone to get my enemies back. I'll work with my enemy to get my enemies back. Sometimes you got to have revenge.
Yeah, I do remember reading a little bit in there, like when I got skimmed through it, when I seen it, the eugenics part and then the Secret Service part. I was like, it was good stuff. Good stuff.
The Secret Service stuff, please don't say anything more on that one. That one's a hot one. That is right. And Claudia made sure all that was in there. I believe most all of the heavy stuff that's in there. Claudia's like, hey, this should be in there. This should be in there. So it was really funny, and I loved it. I love that kind of stuff, and I'm glad because I was really I went through a hard time the last 5 years psychologically. I went through a lot of change, life change, lost a lot of things. Like let's say you go through a natural disaster and your family dies in it or something like that. You lose everything. That's sort of what I went through, and so and doing anything with this stuff it was not easy because there's so much. I wish I could even speak the stuff that happened. It's really fucked up and cult like and oof, people are asking for problems from me. Anyway, and so it was real hard to do the book. It was like you could say triggering at times. So it knocked me out of service here and there, and it was real hard not to go get fucked up on drugs and alcohol doing it. Because that's been my old get high or whatever. That's that's what I've done for most of my life. So I didn't do that though. I didn't do anything like that. I just kept working on it. But it was hard. Yeah, it was not easy. But I'm proud of those moments, like the Secret Service call and stuff like that. It's like doing the book also was, like I said, cathartic, and moving back to Chicago was because I remembered who I was. And in Chicago, I remember like I'm a Chicagoan, and people talk a lot of shit about Chicago. I remember someone says, "Oh, you guys are all afraid of each other." I go, no one here's afraid of no one. The idea is like, and no one. I've never been hurt in Chicago. Now tomorrow night I'll get hurt, right? But the idea is like, it's the same as like when I explained LaVey, and LaVey was a Chicagoan. Anton was born in Chicago, and it's the idea like you respect us or else. Like when I walk down the street, I got to give respect to my neighborhood, whatever neighborhood I'm walking through. I got to give respect at the bus stop, or else you could catch a bullet. You could catch problems, and so yeah. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Probably having a triggering out. I'm having a psychological issue right now. I'm going to fall down and go have a nap.
Right? No, it sounds like you went through some real like spiritual things while writing that book, confronting some real demons.
Yeah. I would consider myself an agnostic in the Carl Sagan sense of the word, where when you look at the universe and you look how small we are, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I don't know if I would say I'm a spiritual person, or I don't know if those words, they have different meanings for people. So I'll take it. Just like if you go to Al-Anon or AA, they talk about God, and people will talk about, like they think it's a Christian God. Well, you could put Satan in there if you want. You could put yourself in there if you want. I've told someone like, I can't go to AA because I'm a Satanist. I go, yeah, you can. You don't have to. You don't have to accept the God that's on your dollar bill. You could just put whatever God you want. You could have Mickey Mouse as your God. Just if it's a self-help group, it's a self-help group. Just go and take what works for you and leave the rest on the table. It's not that hard. Let me show more of my chest here. Let me show more of my chest here. Who's on there that said I was a porn guy? You want to know something, buddy? That's funny you say that. I worked in porn, and I work with all these Italian. Really? Yeah. And I would do the porn events in Vegas. I work with Extreme Associates and all these Italian porn guys, and they would be like, I remember doing this one event, and with the Matt Zane and his brother, and the Zane brothers, and Zachary. He did Extreme Associates. I remember them. Yeah, so I'm with Zachary, and Zachari's father, Rob's father's like, Shane goes up in front. Shane's the lead, and because Rob's sitting on the couch, he's a big deal. He's all fucked up. So the Zane brothers are cousins of him, but they got smooth chests. They don't have no hair, and they're like, why is Shane go up there? Because he got the hair. He's got the hair. And they go, and I go, Matt, what's that mean? He goes, in Italian culture, that you're the bull. The more hair on the chest, the more of the bull you are. You're dominant. If you have a hairy chest, you're the bull. You're the boss. And I'm like, they make bosses just on hairy chests? He goes, yeah. If you got hairy shoulders and big all that hair, you're the bull. And I was like, oh wow. And I got a hairy. So that's what I'm doing. When the guy said something, he was making a joke about me being important. That's sort of what I was. It's laundry day. I didn't have a decent shirt. You want to know the fucking truth of it. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to just go with what I got.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Is Sharon gonna be on soon?
No, I think Sharon. Oh, she's probably messaging me.
I was like, it's about time we get the tickets going.
I'm going to call her right here, live on the air. I swear I did a line.
Chat references.
Please leave your message for 3233.
Oof.
Yay. No privacy.
Well, that might just have to happen some other time. It's okay. We can just. It's okay. We don't have to play by the rules. Yeah,
there will be a winner.
Yeah, well,
there will be a winner.
Sharon's worked for 17 hours picking a winner now, so it's like, she puts a lot of.
Special.
She's serious. She does a lot. Does a lot of work not to be anything but perfect. She does a lot of work on this stuff, everything. So I'm impressed. I'm really happy to work with Sharon. I've had a great working relationship with her, and to tell you, like, I would not have gotten to be friends with Stanton if Sharon wasn't in there trying to keep us from killing each other. And that ain't no joke. We would go at each other pretty good.
I think
looking back at those texts,
some of your older interviews with Stan, you can see Stan's personality. Like when it comes with men, he was very he was that type, knock heads.
Yeah, well, with me and him, we definitely knocked head on.
And you both are very dominant.
Yeah, we definitely went at it really hard, and it was a really unique situation, to say the least, because I don't really deal with that stuff as well as I did with him. But it was because of Sharon. She'd be like, this is family. You guys shouldn't act. There's a togetherness with this. In our community. In what we're trying to do with Satanism and stuff. And so she continued to rile. Pull in the pit bulls. And come on, doggies. Come on, you guys can do it. And I'm glad, because towards the end, we had a really open and decent relationship. And I'm glad to have had that. I'm glad that it didn't end in like bitter hatred or whatever. I mean, we did end our relationship the few years I was, in bitter hatred, probably a handful of times. But nonetheless, I had a lot of love for Stanton. He was I related to him in a lot of ways, about being misunderstood, and having the right intentions, but maybe not understanding how to express it. Same way I like to relate to Kanye West. He's got this big heart, similar, but he has an artist way of expressing it. It's provocative, and it fucking hurts people's feelings, and it shakes people up, and they don't know how to take them. And so I relate to that. I relate to that as an artist, and Stanton was an artist like that. Or, he was a lot of things, and he was a lot of things, and what he's known, what people go on and talk shit about from the Church of Satan, and these people talk shit about him, is the least of what he was. The least of what he was. His problems in his life were the least of what he was. He was a publisher and an intellectual. He's one of the smartest people I've met. And especially with the cultural part of the underground culture, the counterculture. That's a culture that is from mouth to ear. It's not written in history books, but we are history. We do make history. We create the society that people take advantage of after we create it. We blaze the trails. And so he understood what that was. He understood. He could rattle off these names that only certain people understood. And it's not just satanic people. It's artists. It's journalists. It's writers. It's books. The books, it's like that was a wealth of knowledge. And anyone who talks shit about that man should be, should feel shame if they're a part of an organization like the Church of Satan that didn't harvest that knowledge, didn't go and let's get his knowledge. Let's get what he knows, because he knew a lot. and to let that go. I'm glad I went out there and got some of it. Interviewed him and like, hey, tell me more. Come on, tell me these books. Come on, let's talk. Let's record this because that's important for the future. It's important for Claudia. What we do, that information, Claudia scoops it up, saves it, puts it. They really collect the information, and that makes it all worth the while. And it reminds me of me when I was younger, collecting all this information from all these hippies and all these people that are obscenely older than me. And I think about that a lot of times. Like, I'm like 40 years older than Claudia, and I think who's 40 years older than me, and I can't even think of anyone I was dealing with at her age that was 40 years older than me. And like Bill Ayers he was like from the Weather Underground. He did some damage to the government, real good damage. And he's only 20 years older than me. And he's like a dinosaur to me. He's like a dinosaur. So I'm like, it must be so surreal for Claudia to deal with someone so much older, or it will be when they get, I don't know. What will I know? I will not know. When they get to be my age, I won't be here. But in spirit, maybe, right, Lucy? If there's a spirit you talk about, maybe I'll be here in spirit because I do. If I get a gravestone, it's going to say on the back, I'll get my revenge from beyond the grave. Because if there's a spirit world, if I'm able to, all you motherfuckers watching are going to pay. I'm going to get you. I'm going to come into your house as a spirit and I'm going to fuck you up. So just know that if there is a spirit world, I'm going to get your ass. I'm just going to look through the Twitter comments in the spirit world. I'll be scrolling through my spirit phone. Well, I'm going to visit you today, motherfucker. You're going to have some fucking hard time. Guess what? I'm going to introduce your wife to the guy she's going to leave. Ha ha. I'm going to be that spirit. I'm going to be really fucking.
Little devil.
You better hope
No, I
there's
think
not a
it's
spirit.
so important that the youth is able to like carry on that spirit, you know?
All right, Claudia, see you later.
Bye.
Sharon, hold on.
Yay, Sharon's back.
Let me head to the right. Watch this. Boom.